So today on the homestead, we are trying to address the situation of the channel. It has become a little bit, well, I guess it's always kind of been a little bit concerning for us with the big cows, getting them ran down the channel, going the direction that we want to the back pastures, and not being distracted by our neighbor's cows. There's a lot of cows in the area, and we definitely want to not have any situation where our cows get out and get near their cows. So today I'm working on this. So I'm going to show you where we're at. So essentially when it comes to the channel, this kind of is what the condition of the fence is in some parts. I've already done a little bit of work this morning, getting the brush kind of cleared out of here and fixing up the one section that was a bit on the rough side. Basically, we want to get a strip of electric along here, potentially even 2 strands, so that there is no reason for them to hang their heads over or even think about going near the other person's cows, which are, if I put this up here, you can just see the fence posts along that side are our property line, and the other cows are on the other side. So we need to get this done. You can see by all my branches here, I've been cutting trees out, and the sheep have taken care of all the wonderful leaves off of those, so that's wonderful. It kind of looks quite pretty now that it's all cleared out. No hanging down trees, you can actually see the fence. Right where Moo Cow is right now with snow is a post that was completely severed and knocked off. And what I've done is just put in a T-post at the back and good old baler twined it on for now. Same with right here, this rail is just on with baler twine because I couldn't get it back into the little hole on the post. But this will work for now, and eventually we're hoping to rebuild this whole fence. So we have to get these branches all out of here, electric fencing up. I have a few spots where it's going to be a little bit tricky to get through these trees. Eventually we will cut them down and get some of them out of here so that they're not a problem, but for right now I'm just going to make it work. It's the story of my life. Tangled electric fence. And this time I have a sheep helper. Hey Annie? She's not really that helpful. Hey Annie? Oh, what a good girl. This is part of the reason we don't want to clear out all the trees along this fence. The sheep absolutely love this spot. In the heat, it's actually quite cool under here considering it's 30-some degrees today. As I was saying, very helpful. She thinks I need to use those insulators. What are you doing, Annie? So, I've got 2 strands of electric ran along this fence, which is awesome. Definitely no way the cows are going to be a problem with that. I was going to put one down between the other 2 rails to keep the sheep in, but I did put it up and it was not working. They were still pushing through it. I know it wasn't electrified, but I figured it probably would end up badly with some on one side, some on the other. So we're going to come up with a different plan for that, or it's going to stay as it is where they can come and go for right now. But hopefully we will get that sorted out. But all in all, I'm not too unhappy with this, and it looks beautiful, all cleared out, so you can see all the way down the channel now. All those trees right there behind the girls, all kind of done out like an archway. Love that. So now, the breeze is finally coming up. I apologize if it makes it sound windy, but now I have to go down past this wood fence to where the new posts are and get my electric wire to run all the way down to the fencer that's down there for the cattle pasture. Cow fencing. Easier, yes, but still time consuming. I've spent the whole day doing one strip of fence, putting up electric, between clearing trees, figuring it out, untangling wire, insulators. It's been a whole day's job just to do. Now granted, it is a long stretch of fencing. I think it's close to I want to say it's close to 700 feet, but in my mind, it was going to take me a couple hours. So you can see where I am back here. There's the pasture gate that goes out to the cows and buckies section of the pasture, which is well eaten down, which means we have to move on to getting more pasture fenced for them. Luckily, we have another good 12 acres that we can keep working on. But I was just going to show you here, this pasture one that the sheep had earlier is really coming back with all this rain and humid weather. It's definitely starting to grow back, which is awesome. We have a section that we want to do for the sheep up by the riding ring. And then we still want to fence this section to get them out on this before they head back to the other pastures. So ideally, it would be probably a 6-week rotation. Fingers crossed we can get this done. It isn't that much fencing in the grand scheme of things, but it seems to just take so much longer than anticipated. And we are working on everything by hand, which does take a little bit longer too. And, you know, Chris still has a day job, so you're kind of trying to squeeze it in when you can. I'm trying to do some of the jobs that I can handle on my own, i.e. this electric fence that I'm putting up today is something I can manage on my own relatively. But it is all time, and time is precious. So our cow fence for the channel is done, and what an unbelievable relief to have that kind of barrier between us and the neighbors and keep the cows on direction. One thing that's been absolutely amazing is just how effective putting up that electric fence is. I mean, it's like a mind thing for the cows, because now they hug the other side of the fence and don't even go near that and straight down. It's amazing. We should have videoed it. They see that electric fence and there's no thought anymore to approaching near that wooden fence. One thing that's been really, really nice about this is how much of a difference also it made just pruning the trees high enough so we didn't have to duck underneath them. Now it's like this beautiful kind of arched canopy over top of the channel, which is wonderful. But not only did we achieve getting this electric fence up and making it a lot easier to run these cows, which just, I can't even explain how it's like night and day on the stress level of just having them go the right direction and not test you. It is just wonderful. But not only did we achieve that, but I'm going to show you what else we got done. The sheep are out on a new pasture. Even if it is temporary fencing, you can kind of just see as I zoom in there, see the yellow stakes in the back? That is holding up our sheep netting. So basically we've kind of opened up a half acre here. This was one of the riding pastures that's been allowed to grow in. And then there's a section on the back that's very hilly and we haven't figured out exactly what we're going to do with it yet. But all in all, this is about a half acre here for them. And it's nice thick grass once you get up on the hill out of the riding ring. So we're hoping it'll keep them busy for 5-6 days. And pasture 1 and 2 at the back are growing in nicely after all this heat and rain that we've had. So fingers crossed, we'll still be able to keep rotating these beasts.